I3, U3, we all scream for E3. But who won E3? Find out on today's Nerdist News. Friends, another glorious electronic entertainment expo has passed, and with it, another glimpse into our glorious gaming future. But we can't simply rest on the laurels of our frankly impressive E3 coverage. Nay, sirs and madams, we have a responsibility to tell the people which of the big three, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, won E3 2016. But alas, alack, it isn't quite so simple this year. With emerging technologies, gaming experiences branching off in a million different directions, and consoles themselves abandoning their regular refresh cycle entirely, it looks like it's time to split things up a bit. We're going to tell you who won in 3 different categories: hardware, software, and the latest arena of battle, virtual reality. First off, the hardware game at this year's show was a messy one. We all know that Nintendo has the NX, their follow-up to the lackluster Wii U, coming out next year, and yet it made absolutely no appearance at E3 whatsoever, other than the studio confirming a bunch of games for it, including the new Zelda, which historically means there will be no point in getting the new Zelda for Wii U, the system it was demoed on. Kinda lame. And Sony's upcoming PS4K or PS4 Neo or whatever they choose to call it leaked weeks ago. We know it's a half step up from the PS4 but not a full-on upgrade, and we know most of their games, including their vast VR selection, will appear on the system, so why not show off the goods? It'll remain a mystery, especially since Microsoft came out swinging with not 1 but 2 console debuts at their show. First, a super slim, super sexy system named the Xbox One S, and then Project Scorpio, a super deluxe VR-ready 4K Xbox that'll compete with Sony's Neo. Way to drop the gauntlet, Microsoft. No fear, you guys win the hardware wars. As for games, well, it was a bit of a no contest. Microsoft brought the usual suspects: a new Gears of War, another Forza, a Halo Wars sequel, a 4th Dead Rising, all cool stuff, but nothing that really blew our minds. Sony, on the other hand, was full of both surprises and fan service. A cool new Spider-Man game, a Norse God of War dad simulator, a crazy new Kojima game starring Daryl, a release date for The Last Guardian, woohoo! And most excitingly, the return of motherfucking Crash Bandicoot. But despite all of that, it was Nintendo that ruled supreme with a single game, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The awe-inspiring super open-world Witcher/Skyrim-inspired new Zelda was so popular, it literally crushed every other game at E3 on the social media front and resulted in a line so long you had to get in it within 15 minutes of the convention center doors opening to even play the thing. That's madness on a scale you can't comprehend without gazing into the empty, soulless eyes of someone willing to stand in place for a full day to play 30 minutes of a video game. Nintendo wins. But Nintendo set out this year's most intriguing competition, the race to nail virtual reality, and Microsoft barely made any play at all, simply announcing that the Scorpio will be VR ready. No, it was just Sony that showed up to flaunt their PlayStation VR lineup for October, and it is insane. 50, count 'em, 50 games will be available at launch for PlayStation VR, and among them some crazy exciting stuff like a Star Wars Battlefront X-Wing game, a Batman Arkham experience developed by Rocksteady, a completely VR-enabled Resident Evil 7, and even a Final Fantasy 15 VR minigame. It's an impressive slate that shows how serious Sony is about VR, and it helps that their headset is already 100% verified awesome. So in summary, the VR win goes hands down to Sony. So there you have it, folks. All 3 of the big players had some victory at E3 this year. In a way, everyone's a winner, which means that the gamers are the true winners. Yeah, suck it, everybody else. We win, us. As it should be. But what do you guys think? Who do you think won E3? Do you buy into the PlayStation VR? Are you psyched for the new Zelda? Or super psyched? Will you buy a Scorpio next year? Are you as pissed as I am that Red Dead Redemption 2 was a no-show? Let's discuss. Well, that's it. Game over, man. Game over. If you missed any of our E3 coverage, hit up Nerdist.com. Also, don't miss our Zelda trailer breakdown from this week. I mean, it is about as good as you're going to get till the game comes out next year. And I'll see you suckers back here on Monday. Make sure you watch Game of Thrones Sunday, because you better bet I'm going to be talking about that Battle of the Bastards. Spoiler time! Right back on track. Bye!